Welcome to Cult of the Lamb, an adorable game that I can only describe as a mix between Animal Crossing and The Binding of Isaac. Now, if you know anything about these games, you're probably saying, Mason, what the fuck are you talking about? Those games are nothing alike. And you would be absolutely correct. One is a game about the dangers of religion where you fight off demonic beasts and sell your soul to Satan, and the other is The Binding of Isaac. But Cult of the Lamb mixes citizen management and resource collection with a fast-paced roguelike battler, and somehow it just fucking works. The game begins with four friendly fellows talking about how you need to die in order to avoid an ancient prophecy, and just like that, you get brutally killed. Luckily for you, you meet an entity in the afterlife named the One Who Waits, who gifts you with the powers of the Red Crown. This crown allows you to channel lovecraftian powers of a sealed god, and you're tasked with forming a cult to grow this entity's power and told to execute the four guys from earlier in order to free the being and fulfill your pact. Luckily, you can forget that at any point because it won't be on the test. This game doesn't really care about its story at all, and while it has some cool lore if you pay attention, there's really nothing to spoil here. The game is split into two parts, the Animal Crossing part and the Binding of Isaac part. We're gonna start with the Binding of Isaac part first, as it's a lot simpler. You will enter one of 5 areas and begin adventuring through a dungeon. Each dungeon has a series of sections that can contain a variety of things. These can be anything from food for your cult, shops with resources, new followers to recruit, or areas that desperately need to be culled of the non-believers. These areas are more Isaac-ish, where there's a series of randomly generated rooms that you need to clear. You do this with 4 main things: weapons, curses, tarot cards, and fleeces. Weapons are self-explanatory. Dagger hit fast, hammer hit hard, sword in the middle, you get the idea. As you play, you can unlock different modifiers for these weapons, like vampiric weapons that have a chance to heal you, or poisoned weapons that do exactly what you would expect. Curses are spells that you can cast, and again have a variety of types, like homing projectiles or hentai attacks. You cast them with fervor, which is a resource obtained from culling heretics. Throughout the dungeon, you can also find tarot cards, which give you a handy little bonus like increased damage or movement speed. And finally, we have fleeces, which are equipped before the dungeon and apply modifiers. But none of them matter except the golden fleece, because it gives you a damage increase for every kill in exchange for it being reset when you take damage, as well as taking double damage in general. With this, you can get a 700% increase in damage and 4-shot the boss of a dungeon, which is pretty neat. My main problem with this section of the game is that there isn't enough variety. There are 5 weapon types and 7 modifiers for each, but they all do mostly the same things. Curses have a bit more variety in what they do, but there are still only 5 types with 4 modifiers each. This means that every crusade is almost identical, and the different areas of the game have very similar enemies as well. It's not bad by any means, and the combat feels satisfying, but it's not as entertaining as something like The Binding of Isaac, Hades, or Slay the Spire, where every run is drastically different from the last. Again, it's not bad by any means, I just wish that there was more to it. Luckily, that's only half the game, and the other half is a lot more interesting, the Animal Crossing part. After every mission, you're returned to your cult, where you can recruit followers and grow in power. You have a few things to manage each day in your cult: devotion, hunger, and cleanliness. Cleanliness is easy, just clean up every poopa stinka on the map. For hunger, you need to cook some food, and devotion is gained in a lot of ways, the primary one being through rituals. Every day, you can preach a sermon to your cult, allowing you to unlock new rituals and doctrines that allow you to decide how your cult operates. Are you tired of people complaining when they're forced to eat the body of their friend? Well, now cannibalism is super cool. Don't want the old people to die so often? Well, let's just send them off to Cthulhu instead. Your cult can also be personalized completely. Everything from your followers' appearance to the decorations around the base can be changed and placed exactly how you like, allowing for a lot of customization that's really nice to have. There are also a variety of side quests, from fishing to playing a fun little dice game. It's really fun to interact with the characters in the world, especially with such good visuals. All of the character designs are super creative and the environments are vastly different. The cartoony style is absolutely charming and... Wait, what's that sound? Oh god, it's the legal obligation alarm. Oh, okay, hold on, I have to talk about music, 1 second. I talked a little bit about The Binding of Isaac in my video game soundtrack video, and how I liked the mix of religious singing and electronic music, and Cult of the Lamb captures that feeling perfectly as well. The villagers all talk in simple sounds and yelps, which are used in a lot of songs to replicate singing or chanting, with a lot of percussion in the background. The village theme is absolutely adorable, and the bosses all have really distinct themes that suit what animals they are. Honestly, the whole aesthetic of the game is absolutely adorable, and I would love to see more games like this, where cute cartoon characters are mixed with very serious or dangerous scenarios. I just think that it's neat. All in all, I give Cult of the Lamb 3 Fruit Punch out of 1 G Fuel, which is pretty damn good. The game is fun and pretty short, but that doesn't bother me too much. It only took me about 20 hours to 100% the entire game on normal, which is secretly the really easy difficulty. The main problem with the game is that the roguelike aspect is severely lacking variety, but since dungeons usually only take about 7 minutes, you can rush through them pretty quick. Oh, hey, hi, hello, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to bring to your attention that Cult of the Lamb has announced that they will be adding free major content updates in the future that'll add a lot more depth. So, this is what I get for waiting a fucking week after the game comes out to finish this video. Anyway, I'm excited to see that the game is getting a lot more added to it, because again, that was one of the only problems with the game. So I hope that it significantly improves, and maybe I'll revisit it again later. Anyway, yeah, thanks again for watching. Sorry for interrupting the video. Please continue now, you only have like a minute left anyway, bye. As usual, Devolver Digital is pumping out bangers this year, so now I'm just excited to wait for Wizard with a Gun. Anyway, I'll see you soon.